Hello. I don't know whether you can hear me right now, but we're about to continue our adventures in writing with an AI, with an entirely new AI. Oh, you can hear me. Wonderful. Thank you. So this is NovelAI, which I was kindly gifted a subscription to at I think it was like the Optimus level, like a higher premium level by Inkeliad. So thank you to Inkeliad. And I've done no research other than looking at the initial page because I want us to kind of get to experience it all together, because that's the thing I regret about with AI Dungeon. I wish we could have all gone into it the same amount of fresh. So this is an AI specifically designed for co-writing. So as opposed to AI Dungeon, which was designed to run choose your own adventures. So I just don't know. I have no idea what to expect. I assume it will be better at impersonating a human, but then it's a newer AI, so it might not be as clever. I just don't know. Kravis says, luckily my eyes are good right now, since otherwise the light would kill my eyes. Oh, that's a good point. I wonder if there's a night mode. Let's find out together. Okay. Aha! Oh, that's way better. Ooh, what's this one? I want the purple dark mode. Alright. That's, oh, that's a little bit actually hard to read. I'll just go with the regular dark mode. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, purple. Maggie says, biological spaceship adventures. Yeah. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit easier on the eyes. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we're gonna start a new story and see where this goes. Hugging Sam says, see, this is why I don't write that often. I would immediately get sidetracked by these color options. I was tempted. I would spend a lot longer if it was just me, but new story. So does it have prompts? Because you can use prompts other people have done, it looks like. Start typing below the line or select from a pre-made set of story scenarios. Write your prompt here. If I hit new story. New story. Okay. Title. Oh, we'll get to that later. I have no idea. So let's start. We're starting completely from nothing. No prompt. So does anyone have any suggestions for the story? I'd rather write a fantasy story, because I feel like that's going to be easier to pull from my brain than sci-fi, which I keep trying and failing to write on my own, and I don't think an AI is going to help me with. So if you have any fantasy prompts, we'll see what we can do. Crabbo says, lewd thoughts is already in NovelAI, apparently. So. Yeah. I mean, that's not a huge surprise. Let me think. We've done a witch. We attempted a werewolf story. That went very weirdly. Tuturto says, young dragon exploring the world for the first time. Oh my goodness. Yes, we're absolutely going to do that. Amazing. Okay, so. You are a dragon. Oh yeah, this is the thing. You might not I might not have to write in second person anymore. I might not have to write in second person anymore. Oh, let's find out if that's true. This is so exciting. Okay. Type inputs, type prompt. I don't know what I'm doing. Does anyone here know AI Dungeon? I don't know how to write in. I don't know how to write an AI game without writing in this anymore. A young dragon. You could do first person or third person AI dungeon. Yes, although apparently it didn't work as well. I had problems with it, and when I was looking it up on Reddit, people said they had problems. So it works best in second person, so I just did. But that is a good point, Acrapo. Hugging Sam says, "Hello AI, please write me a cool story about dragons exploring for the rest of the time. Thank you, bye." Yeah, if you could just write this for me, NovelAI, that would be beautiful. Oh, Control was here as well. Hello, Control, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Control and enter to start generation. Memory. You are a young dragon exploring the world. Okay, so I don't know if this is actually going to work. I'm going to hit... Is it control and enter? Did that do any... Oh! Oh, it is working! So I wrote, a young dragon crawls from the nest, wings wet and feathers thin and rumpled. They sniffle blindly toward the mouth of the cave, toward the smell of fresh air. The AI writes, then one of them catches a scent and lifts his head up to the sky, gulps in a lungful, then takes another step on his stubbly legs and falls down with a terrible cry. I only mentioned one dragon, but you know what? This ain't bad. This is okay. It is. Chimerical Girl says, "Oh no, it is already doing so well." I'm both encouraged and discouraged by this. We're gonna... Can I edit things? Oh, I can very easily. I like this interface a lot for writing as opposed to adventuring. Tricky thesis. Oh no. Oh, I should have named this dragon. Oh my god. This is gonna go awkwardly. Probably also worth the dragon one. We don't know. Yeah, the AI dungeon UI is good. This is NovelAI, Tricky. We're doing an entirely new AI now. We've had one prompt so far from the entry so far from the AI. It's okay. It's all right. I think we can. What inputs down here? Oh, so you can input like here, or you can just write into the thing itself. Oh, I do like this interface. I am a fan. I do think people are gonna, if anyone turns up, I don't know if people just randomly turn up to AI Dungeon, but they're gonna turn up and be like, this is an AI Dungeon, you're a liar. And I'll be like, I know, but in my defense, AI Dungeon and I had a big fight and someone gifted me a subscription to NovelAI, so. I think we're gonna time skip to being a bit older soon. If the AI lets us or doesn't do something very weird. We're gonna be a kind little dragon. Icarus says, shouldn't Mom Dragon be here though? Probably, or Dad Dragon, but they aren't. Conflict. I just did jazz hands, but you can't see them, but I did jazz hands, just so you know. Tricky says, I gotta put on my big boy glasses for this one. Oh yeah, because it's so tiny. I might be able to increase that. I did that with AI Dungeon. Does this save? Are you saved? Let's find out. Font size. Oh, it's changing the font size of everything. Well, that's fine. Nope. No, change the story font size. You changed everything else. Okay. Did that change that? It's a bit bigger. Is that a little bit easier to read? Okay. Sam says they could be like sea turtles. They lay eggs and just leave. That's true. It's all true. That is easier. Oh, good. Okay, I'm very glad. I do want people to be able to see this. It's Control Enter for the AI. Go again, AI. I'm so excited everyone's here to see this new AI with me. Thank you everyone who's here. So, the first dragon scrambles back toward their brother. They don't yet have words, but already they want to give comfort. They cuddle against their brother's side until he stands back up again. Then the AI adds, one by one, each steps onto the damp earth. Some crawl awkwardly, others totter along on four legs before taking a tentative bite at the grasses below. Okay, I guess we're... I'm going to edit that a little bit to make it make more sense, but I guess we're like herbivorous dragons? Ooh! Yes, I love it. Story dragon, what dragon eats grass? Has this offended you? Well, they're feathery dragons. Plenty of birds eat grass. Actually, plenty of reptiles eat grass, now I think about it. Well, certainly eat plants. They're grazing. That's such like a low quality vegetation. So they're like cows? Chimerical Girl says, oh, this AI is so much more precious than the other one. It does seem pretty precious. Tricky V says, NovelAI understands more. By the way, it does seem to. It does. I mean, we're not very far in. I'm going to get in a big fight with this AI soon, I'm sure, but at least it's very cute now. Grass could not work. Yeah, grass doesn't give a lot of nutrition, but there are a lot of animals that if you have enough stomachs, you can get nutrition from grass. Or if you have a very efficient digestive system, some birds graze as well, bizarrely. But it might just be that it eats some grass and some other things, or it could be that they're trying to find things to eat. Tricky says dogs eat grass sometimes. That's mostly to clear their systems, I think. But I'm not super concerned with this being 100% realistic, but I do like the idea that maybe these are in some way cow-like. They have lots of stomachs, and maybe part of that could be how they produce flame, if they have lots of different weird digestive gases going on. So we'll have a look at this. But yeah, grass is incredibly difficult to break down nutritionally, and it's very difficult to get nutrition from. Miracle Girl says eating grass, not wearing handcuffs, and hitting on family members. Way to go, NovelAI. Yeah, okay. In that sense, we are like 100 points up on AI Dungeon. Tricky says, also so good to hear your voice again. Oh, thank you, Tricky. I really appreciate that. Aw, thank you. Okay. So. I'm gonna edit this slightly because I don't think it's as good with grammar. It seems to struggle with like the number of things. Some crawl awkwardly, others totter along on four legs before taking it in. And I feel like they're up in a cave. Maybe not. They're the grass dragons, so they're on the ground. They're cow dragons. Krivo says, also remember it's okay for them to fight because a lot of babies play fight to learn. Very true, yes. Completely agree. Let's see. They're also probably eating some bugs as they crab out. Oh, certainly. Almost all herbivores actually are like a certain amount of omnivorous in the sense that they do eat other things that appear where the plants they eat are. It's a really interesting thing when you start looking into like actual nutrition. You look up deer, which you think just eat like leaves and maybe graze sometimes, and then you find out they eat eggs that they find on the ground as well as bugs, and it's very interesting. I'm gonna get sidetracked. I don't want to get sidetracked. Let's see. Horses eat meat too? Yeah, I'm sure. Horses are terrifying. They could eat whatever they wanted. Who could stop them? Sam says, so what you're saying is all herbivores are non-binary? Yes. Carnivores too. Tricky says you can change the color of the UI. Also, this is good so far. Yeah, I'm liking it so far. I've already changed the color of the AI because it was in day mode and was understandably quite glaring for some people. And I saw like this purpley dark one that looked really cool, but it was a little bit hard to read. Everything that seems like it eats one thing truly eats something else too. Yes, although many things don't really digest the things that they like. If it's not the main thing that they eat, they can struggle. They wouldn't be able to survive on only that thing. So I don't know. It's all very interesting. Anyway, animal nutrition. Moving on. Sam says AI finally does a semi-competent job. Chat, what about nutrition though? Oh, I love it. Too true. Alright. Will the AI think of a mother? Let's see. Tricky says this is fantasy, nothing makes sense. I mean, that is true. We do try that. Okay, yeah, control enter, right? I wish it still had the prompt up at the bottom because I keep forgetting. Grass? Did I misspell grass? Oh, I did. Well, fixed. Oh, the father's just like randomly appeared. Well, I guess we could try and edit that a little bit so it's like it brought the father here. AI fantasy, so it makes even less sense. Yes, our dragons eat grass, but also crass. Little known that certain tones of speech are edible to dragons, but let's see. Oh, goodbye, Story Dragon. It's been wonderful to have you. I will post all of this up so you will be able to see how it went. You'll be able to read the text later. I feel bad that you're missing out on our first dragon story. You miss AI Dungeon now? I'm sorry, Tricky. I don't know whether we'll be doing this forever. I've got a subscription, so we'll give it a go. I did really like AI Dungeon, in the sense that I also hated it. What a relationship. So far, it doesn't really lean towards creating conflict in the same way. Which I wonder if that's actually I mean, obviously in the last one, AI Dungeon refused to make any conflict ever. But previously, I feel like AI Dungeon in general tried to make more conflict because it was an adventure game. Cravo, the father puts down a lump of grass with some meat from his mouth. Maybe. Let's see. We get a size representation of the father, says Cravo? Ah, I guess we could. It might be something we do a bit later. We don't really know what size our little dragons are, although they can hide in the grass. Tricky says, can I DM you a fight I had in a dungeon multiplayer to show you how well it can generate fights? Oh, feel free. I'm very aware it can do very, very good fights. Especially when it's used properly as a adventure game. But I'm happy to have a look. After streaming right now. But let's see. Dragons want to have gizzards. I'm going on the record. Gizzards are cool. Everything should have a gizzard. Why don't we have gizzards? We just have like icky, gross acid stomachs. We should have gizzards too. Slice of life dragon story. Tricky. It might get more aggressive. This is very, very early on. Creepo says, also shooting flame is very dangerous because you can always put the flame back into them and then the whole thing goes boom. The only reason the flame is stuck at the mouth because of some device preventing it going back further. Oh, that's very true. You need something you can close. Let's see. Bearing in mind, I am writing with an AI on a stream. The accuracy and thought going into this is incredibly minimal. So don't expect any amazing feats of biology in this, but it is fun to talk about. We'll go ahead and name this dragon story. No, that's like... Surely dragons have their own language. Story. Tricky says, I like the idea of a dragon as protagonist. I do too. It's been a long time since I've written a story with a dragon as protagonist. I used to do it all the time. Kraber says, are there humans in this world? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Sam says I'm digging the story so far. Well, I'm glad. I'm having a great time. This is going much better than the last AI Dungeon story. Although I don't think it has as much ridiculous conflict as the first one, which I was really enjoying. But we'll see. I think I might have to be the impetus of conflict this time. I'm not sure. Oh, go on. I'm doing too much. Shift enter? Control enter? Control enter. Okay, that's an AI Dungeon style, like, non sequitur. It has been meant, so I wrote... I'm gonna go ahead and read. I've just written loads of stuff. And I've just been talking and replying to you. I don't know why. Something of the setup is very different. So, Father, the idea forms more clearly in the first dragon's mind. The smell is familiar, comforting, and they immediately crawl toward him. He spread his wings to encircle the young dragonlings in a feathered embrace, and begins to check each one. To each he gives a name, and it reverberates through the young dragon. They can feel it in their bones, and in the crystal-shot pouch of their gizzard. Amuan, he says, touching the dragonling's forehead with the tip of his snout. He is large enough to swallow all of these hatchlings whole, but they have no fear of him. The name, the little dragonling understood, meant story. Years later, Amuan's wings are finally strong enough to carry them in flight. After their first few clumsy test flights, they set out in earnest, leaving their cave and their family behind. It has been many years since the dragonlings were born, says the AI, but they don't know that yet, or care about it. Tricky says turn down the randomness in the settings. I don't know if I want to do that yet. We haven't had enough kind of... If I hit retry... Like, I think a certain amount of randomness makes for a more interesting... let's see. It didn't retry. Oh, you have to undo first. Hang on. So if I undo... Oh, but I changed that. So I have to delete that, I guess? Okay, and then if I do Control-Enter... Getting the hang of it. I like that it just highlight what you're supposed to, what it's going to do with each button. But the retry function isn't as straightforward. So, after the first few clumsy test flights, they set out in earnest, leaving their cave and their family behind. The AI adds, this time there will be no stopping until they reach the end of the world. They're tired of being trapped inside. I don't know about that. Hugging sound, does his brother's name mean AI? Oh, that would be really good. Maliki, time to catch up. Hello! Alright. I don't think no stopping until they reach the end of the world. Let's just go one more time, then I'll have a look. I'll tinker with settings if needed. But... What? They follow the sun, growing taller and stronger as they fly towards its golden rim. Their gizzards fill up, and when they are full, they fly back home. Okay. Did the gizzard fill up with sun? That's so weird. Okay. Also, what does the AI mean? End of the world? Yeah, I don't know. Sounds as dragons. Photosynthesis, but more extreme. Apparently. The thing is, this doesn't not make sense in a fantasy context. I don't want to... Go again. Go again. I'd like to, like, start having, like, actual scenes instead of this kind of, like, omniscient, withdrawn kind of POV. The little dragonlings scatter like seeds across the field, seeking shelter beneath the branches of trees, hoping that their parents will return. I mean, that's all good sentences, but not kind of in context. I'll retry that one. NovelAI becomes AI dungeon, says Tricky. Yeah. Tutoto says they need sunlight for flames. I mean, that seems quite possible, right? And I said they had like a crystal gizzard, so there's a chance of that being kind of like spooky crystals, you know, fantasy magic crystals. So I think it kind of works. I think it's interesting. I like the idea of AI generated dragon biology as well. So they come back. Their mother scolds them for eating so much food, but their father laughs and says that their gizzards will only get bigger if they keep eating, just like their wings. What? This is getting really weird. Sam says, I will say dragons being able to breathe fire because they absorb bits of the sun is a really cool hook for a magic system. I agree. Photosynthetic dragons is always cool. Oh yeah, I'm very confuzzled. Extremely confuzzled. Whew. Let's see. Please, some direct dialogue. I don't... I can't do an AI name for that brother, but I really wanted to. I just think that 2 A names is going to be too much for me. Incredible says, are dragon parents like human parents? Maybe to a degree? Tricky says, AI Dungeon has the upper hand because, you know, it's free. Yeah, I mean, that's the main reason I'm probably not going to be doing this forever. Like, I'm going to be doing this for as long as I have, like, I mean, probably like a month. That's what I've got. Titato, dinner is calling me, but I'll watch the recording later. I want to know what happens next in the story. Oh, goodbye! Thank you for the idea and for visiting. Thank you. There's no point in arguing over the benefits of the different things. They do different things, and both ask for a lot of money, considering in order to use the usable versions of them. But I think AIs are expensive. This, I think it was like $10 at the lowest level, and this was $25 at the level that I was gifted to use for a month. AI Dungeon is it like $50 at the highest tier? It's very expensive, but there is a free version that is limited, so you can only use it for a certain amount every month, which is pretty good, which is with their medium AI. But the difference between the Griffin AI and the Dragon AI, the more expensive AI, is pretty extreme. $25 a month? Yeah, I know, right? That's just so expensive. Sam says, I'm just here to hang out. I don't mind what you use. Yeah, I just... Whatever I have available to me, I will be trying. I am liking NovelAI a lot. I know I don't like it enough to spend $25 a month, because who has that? Cravo says, hey, do you have a Discord server? Actually, I do, but it's only available at the moment to my Ko-fi supporters, so I might make that open at some point. But I'm on Twitter and I'm on Mastodon at Vicorva, so you can always chat to me there. Lucky says, I mean, if you down the line earn enough on streaming these, maybe. I refuse to earn money from streaming. I keep seeing like Twitch being like, oh, only a few more hours a month and you can be an associate. And I'm like, no, I refuse. I will stream 1.5 hours a week and no more. I don't know why I'm so upset by the idea of being a Twitch associate, but associate? No, associate, yeah. Affiliate? Affiliate. But I am. He says, I know your Ko-fi account. You can stop me. No, I will put my fingers in my ears. Wait, I won't hear you. I'll cover my eyes and I'll just pretend that it's for other things that I do and not for streaming. Twitch, quit your day job. What could go wrong? Says Chimerical Girls. Exactly. I'm just doing this because it's fun. It's fun and it's writing, and maybe people will go, hey, maybe your writing is better when you're not doing it with an AI on stream, and then they'll look at my books one day. Who knows? Maliki, no! Stop! It doesn't count if it's through Ko-fi. It doesn't count. I'm going on the record. Let's see. I gotta continue this story. What should their brother's name be? Tricky says, I haven't read any of your books. I'm sorry, Tricky. That's okay, Tricky. I'm not upset. You don't have to. Amazingly, you don't actually have to pay me money in order to hang out with me. I am just around. I really appreciate you coming to visit my streams. Maliki says, if I write in the message for AI Dungeon only, you gotta comply, right? Yes, it's true. I will be legally required to accept that it's for AI Dungeon. Oh, Sam is plugging my book. Thank you, Sam. Maliki, you've bought my book twice in 2 bundles. And you bought my new book. Thank you. That's not even out yet. Let's not worry about any of that. Let's worry about this little dragon. Ikroba says, hey Vic, can I send links? It depends on what the links are to, I guess. I don't know if they're allowed in the chat or not, but you can DM them to me if not. I won't click an suspicious link, but if it's just relatively known sites, it shouldn't be a problem. Tricky AI Dungeon has a gun to their head to sponsor. They would never. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let the AI go again. So, they said the whole thing about getting bigger, and then they said their mother scolds them for eating so much food, but their father laughs and says that gizzards will only get bigger if they keep eating, just like their wings. Amwin shuffles their wings, embarrassed by their father's laughter. I don't want to get bigger, they say. I only want to fly farther. Then fly farther, their mother says. You are plenty old enough. There is something weary in her tone. Amwin feels more embarrassed still. Nearly all of their siblings have already left the nest on adventures. It is only them and their brother Dolor, who huddles at the back of the cave and rarely tests his wings. And I'm going to let the AI go again. It's an AI. It does not generate stories, but it generates images based on prompts. Oh, that sounds interesting. I don't know that I will be doing much with that, but you can put a link in here if anyone's, if Twitch lets you, if anyone's interested. I might have a look at it at some point. Is it generating? Did I do it? The interface is not as clear with how you do things on this. Oops, ow. He seems confused, but happy enough. He claps at Amwin's tail once or twice, which makes the dragonlings all the more curious about what he has been doing. I don't think that really makes much sense. Try again. Sounds says generate faster AI. Well, I can't blame it. The AI is actually putting stuff out pretty quickly compared to me, where I keep stopping to talk for 5-10 minutes, so... This is actually just my hangout stream, and I just... The co-writing with AI is a smokescreen. Oh, I should have changed the title to NovelAI on the stream. Ooh, I'm silly. Were you pointing that out earlier? Oops. I've updated that. Sometimes I'm very silly. The AI doesn't also have to talk to chat, though. No, that's true. But it does have to talk to, like, all the rest of its self. Isn't a lot of computers? Okay, what do we have now? Amowin does not understand this lack of ambition. How can you fly without flying? He wants to be part of the story. I really like... I don't understand the lack of ambition. We're an undungeoned dragon in these parts. But, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that, because it's kind of interesting. I feel like it's kind of... You know, it's like a little bit poetic for an AI. Maliki says, oh, I read how can you fly without flying as without wings, and I like that sentence. Oh, that is cool. I think they do have wings. Because we've already said he rarely tests his wings. Okay, we're almost on 3 o'clock, which means we have half an hour left. That time means nothing to anyone else because it's only in Britain, but half an hour left. Go again, AI. How does the AI handle like going a couple times in a row? Because AI Dungeon has come up with some genius things doing that and also some terrible things doing that, and I'd be curious. Okay, so they find the answer in the stories they hear from their parents. It was in the beginning of creation, the dragons tell them. Before all other things were made, there was nothing but fire. What on earth? It's like generating like lore now. Tricky. British. It's okay. Bottle of water. Is that? I don't know. I don't know why people get so upset about it. Accents are funny, and the British people deserve to be ridiculed for their goofy accents as much as anyone else does. But well, more than most people, more than most. Mitch, hello, welcome. We're writing with a different AI this time. Kraber says, oh, but the thing that generates images is called Deep Days. It'd be neat if you could let it generate images while you did NovelAI. I don't know, I'll look into it. I don't know how much more my brain can handle at one time than just doing this one thing. Maliki says lower ends the R at the end of A's often, so he says pasta all the time. Yeah, I think we all do that to some degree, but like some more than others. Mitch says, is this AI behaving itself? Largely, yes. It hasn't done as any, like, it's not as... I think it has less leaps of brilliance, but also fewer leaps of, like, fewer just ludicrous things. But I'm not going to be doing it forever. I think there's no free version of this, which seems wild to me. So I'm just doing this for as long as my subscription lasts, which will be a month or maybe 2 months. I'll have a look at how much that's actually been gifted. You excited about the lore? The random lore that has nothing to do with what's going on right now? Alright, let's see what else the AI does then. Because it's not writing as much as me. Write more AI. I really wish it had told me what buttons to press, because every time I'm like, wait, now, control, enter. Okay. But one day it burst out and devoured the land and then the sky. The dragons fled to safety in the caves. Their brothers and sisters stayed behind to watch the flames. I don't know how this is a story about flying. I'm kind of enjoying that it's coming up with, like, lore, though. This AI likes to info dump. This is new. AI Dungeon likes to fight and likes to not fight. Those are its two main modes. This AI likes to info dump. Sam says, if I had more time on my hands, I'd make a free version myself. The most unfair part of life is that I'll never have enough time for all the ideas I have. Oh, I feel that in my bones, though. I could never make something like this, but there's so many things I want to make, and I just... Oh gosh, I'm barely managing to make anything at all. Alright. Well, Tricky, we've got some lore. Here you go. Special gift from NovelAI to you. Ikra says, AI Dungeon likes to kill me the first time text it generates. Yeah, absolutely. That's... I know that. Maliki says, that's a very ADHD thing too. So many ideas, so little time. Yeah, absolutely. It's a very neurodivergent thing in general, I think. Neurodivergence represent. The dragons fled to safety in the caves. Their brothers and sisters stayed behind to watch the flames. Well, if their brothers and sisters weren't dragons, what were they? Make a prompt about novel AI fighting AI dungeons is tricky. Well, you're welcome to. I feel like AI Dungeon would do a good job of it. The crab says, for some reason my eyes are blending the white and the... Is that purple or pink? Yeah, I think some of it is pink and some of it is maybe blue. I also cannot tell the difference between them. I think it's dividing up different prompts, maybe? Like different inputs. But since I mean... I don't think it really matters. It's just all very mildly different colors. They're very similar. Unless it's causing you discomfort. I don't know what I can do about it, but I'll try. But I'm not sure if it all appears mostly white to you. I don't think that's a huge problem. Or it's not for me anyway. That's my case. It's okay? Okay. If it is actually causing discomfort, I will see what I can do. But I genuinely also can't tell the difference. It was only when you said that I realized that there's also blue here, which... Cribble says, I see yellow? Oh my gosh, maybe there is yellow. I don't know. Ah. The last part of the blue? That could be yellow. I really don't know. They should have chosen... If they wanted to color code it, they should probably have chosen more distinct colors. Yellow at the beginning. Oh, well. Maybe. Excuse me. I don't know what else the siblings are. Thank you for excusing me, Sam. I felt very rude. The fireflies is Maliki. Oh, I love that. I want that. Tricky singing All City in chat. Kramer says AI generates story. Chat. These colors. It is distracting though once you realize it's there because it's so subtle. Alright. I don't know what's going on. Mitch says, once at work a designer was showing us these amazing patterns, and instead of talking about their wonderful craft, it was a 10-minute discussion on what shades of white the print should be on. Well, obviously not like white. You gotta go at least like slightly cream. Or pale gray. I love that. Okay. I don't know how this is going to have anything to do with fly without flying. AI generated stories are annoying. This AI is making me work harder and I'm not about it. AI Dungeon didn't make me work very hard. AI Dungeon just made me cry a lot. It made me yell a lot. Kraber says, apparently yellow means prompt, white means AI text, purple is edited text, and blue is user text. Oh my goodness. You can change the colors for them too. Oh, well maybe I should do that at some point. Or maybe I should turn it off. I don't want it. It's distracting me. I'm gonna let the AI go next. I don't think we're gonna resolve this whole thing that it started of like, how can you fly without flying? And it's like, you find the answer in stories you hear from their parents. And I just don't... I didn't start this lore trip and I don't want to continue it. AI, finish it or don't. But... It doesn't make any sense. Why didn't anyone save them? Amwin asked their father. Oh, hang on, I should read what I've done before. I'm completely lost my rhythm, my AA dungeon rhythm with NovelAI. Okay. So. One day it burst out and devoured the land and then the sky. The dragons fled to safety in the caves. Their brothers and sisters stayed behind to watch the flames. I wrote, the siblings of dragons were said to be the phoenixes or firebirds and the fireflies in their multicolored swarms. The fireflies were unharmed by the flames, but the phoenixes burnt to a crisp. When the fire died down, they emerged from the ashes into a new world. The dragons emerged from their caves to discover vast oceans and tall forests in the wake of the missing flames. The AI adds, why didn't anyone save them? Amwin asks their father, when he is sure that no one is listening. We're not a he. Ugh. When they are sure that no one is listening. Because no one could, the dragon says sadly. No one died. No one died. It was a story in which no one died. Go again. I shouldn't have edited it first because then it can't undo or retry. NovelAI makes my eyes confused. NovelAI makes me cry. I'm so sorry, chat. It's not going to be for long. Okay, wait, no. Let's go in the settings. We're turning off these colors. Probably. Can you do that? Oh. Header... White. White. And white. There we go. That's hopefully okay. Mitch says, we don't like the colors, said Chad sadly. Is everyone relieved there's no more colors? I mean, it wasn't making any difference to how I was actually using it, so they were distracting to me as well. Maliki says you can still turn it back on later if you want to see it later. Yeah, that is true. Your eyes are still showing the colors. Oh no! Incredible. It's obviously caused a lot of problems for you, this novel AI. Sam says this feels like a you hope you were safe among the trees and you were the end type of situation. It does. Okay, oh, hang on. It did add new things. So, the dragons emerged from their caves to discover vast oceans and tall forests in the wake of the missing flames. They saw birds with the bodies of eagles. I mean... that is a bird body. Foxes that could become invisible at will! Invisible foxes! Ah, that would be so cool! That would be so much trouble, can you imagine? Plants that grew so fast that some parts would die for lack of light? This is so weird! Birds with the bodies... I'm going to say it's birds with the bodies of something that isn't a bird, because that's really annoying me. What should be hippogriffs? It could be horses. Wait, what if they have, like, a really weird bird body? Deer. Yes. Flying bird deers. Yes. Wacky, says Tricky. Yeah, we're finally getting some interesting generations from the AI, because I feel like it was being pretty chill before. Apart from the info dumping. Sam's commenting on chat, freaking out about the invisible foxes compared to, like, everything else. Yeah. Chimerical also loves the foxes. Yeah. This is the thing. Why are we writing about dragons? We should have been focusing on these invisible foxes. Tricky says there are no humans, I suppose. I mean, I don't think that's an exhaustive list of everything in the world. So, there's probably humans. I quite like dragon stories with humans. Let's go again, AI. You're doing good. You're doing good, novel AI. Oh, ooh, my music ran out. Let me fix that. Sorry. But Amuin is too young to understand these words. All they know is that they are different from their siblings, smaller, slower, and less adventurous. I don't think they're less adventurous. They just said they want to fly farther. Well, sure. Amuin is too young to understand these words. I don't know what this has to do with anything. Go again. Try that again. It was the beginning of everything. But I don't... Maliki says, what if he just climbs down from here instead of flying and starts walking? They can already fly is the thing. They can already fly. We've established that. So I don't... I guess the brother isn't really flying. Okay, we've changed it to, all of these creatures came together to form the Dragon Kingdoms. And they told their children what had happened in the beginning and how it all began and why each of them was important. Alright. It really loves lore. So I assume this was trained on fiction. I wonder if the fiction was heavy on info dumping. I mean, fantasy often is. Actually, that's a thing I have a problem with because I'm so averse to the idea of info dumping that I often write confession time. I write my world building way too light compared to what I know about the world, and then people are like, I don't understand this world. I'm like, oh, whoops, I didn't really tell you enough. Oh, Razarvin has followed me. I didn't even notice that. Thank you. Tree says the four factions live in harmony until the Fire Nation attacked. Imagine the humans are just hiding underground for some reason. Yeah, or they weren't evolved yet, or who knows. Sure, we're just gonna continue with this as if this makes sense, because sometimes that's just what you have to do when you're writing with an AI. You have to go, okay, AI, sure, this makes sense. Let's just pretend. Um, Huggy Sam says, I'm very much a fan of light world building, show don't tell. Well, thank you. I'm not personally not sure I hit the balance right. I'm not even talking about writing with the AI right now. I black this from my memory the moment I'm done with it because it's very traumatic sometimes. But when I'm writing my normal stuff, I think there's some things I could work on. But I think that's true of everyone. We all get better with time. And some people are just really amazing to begin with. Oh my god, some people have buckets of talent and skill, and it's amazing. Let's see. Tricky says at least V isn't going insane in the membrane this time. Hey, I wasn't going. I was really struck like last time. It was real bad. It was real bad last time. Sam says, also because I have a terrible memory, especially for names. One big problem with fantasy for me is just going, wait, who is this again? And that gets exponentially worse with heavy world building. Oh, I can absolutely imagine that. I would like to be better at world building, or like world building on the page, but I would also like to never be someone who needs like a glossary at the back of the book, or like a dramatis personae or anything like that. It would be really nice if people could just read it and not need like reference documents to understand it. Some really good books do need those things, but I don't want my books to be like that. Sam says it was real bad last time, but also very hilarious. Yes, it was. And you know what? We will be returning to that story when we're done with this brief interlude. But, Malaki says, I need to go shower. I don't want to leave. Aww. Well, it's almost done. We've only got 12 minutes left, so don't worry. If you go, you're not missing much. Cravo says, suddenly Sans appears. We're not crossing worlds. It starts playing Bone Trousel. Sorry, Undertale referencing. You can stay for 12 minutes? Oh, yay! No, you can beg me for Sans all you want, and Sans is not appearing. Go bother some other AI dungeon streamer. It's not gonna be me. Sorry, this is how it goes. I'm causing a crisis by refusing to include characters from other stories in this. Frowns? Ooh, ears! Cute feather ears. Chat's losing its mind. I'm not. No! You can. It's not happening. Sorry. I can't poll. Who do you think I am? I'm not a Twitch. What is it called? Affiliate? I don't have special features. No polls. Sorry. I'm not sorry though. I wouldn't give you the sans poll, or I would give it to you and I wouldn't abide by the results. I'm evil like that. Let's see, 8 minutes. Oh, Maliki said I missed Larry though. I need another Toontown book. Oh, I missed that. Oh, I'm writing the next one, Maliki. I'm writing the next one, and he's in it, and he doesn't want to wear shoes. This is very important that you know this. At least do a little bit with Sans and delete it? No, I'm sorry. I mean, we could do a Sans the Dragon at some point. I'm not against that, but not right now. It's I'm sorry, I don't know if you know this, but even if everyone in chat was demanding Sans, I still wouldn't do it because I just am not... It's not very easy to bully me that way. Bone Dragon! I love Bone Dragons. Have you seen Skeletal Dragon or in video games and stuff? Oh, it's so good. I was really fascinated with the Skeleton Dragons in Drakon when I was a kid. Drakon was a really good game. Mitch, I don't know who Sans is, but I demand it. Sorry, Mitch. Although I am amused by you just jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah. It's a character from Undertale. Undertale, one of my very favorite video games. But this isn't an Undertale story. Mitch says I'm so very easily swayed by a crowd. Amusingly so, I would say. Sam says having strong, healthy boundaries is Sam approved. Aw, thank you, Sam. I have such strong boundaries on things that don't matter and don't upset me. It's very easy to set boundaries when people are just goofing around. Go on, AI? They try, so what I have here, I can't remember where I got to. It was so much easier to tell in AI Dungeon. I'm going to go out again, Amuin says firmly. They flap their wings for emphasis. Their mother's ears twitch back. So soon? I can do it, Amuin says. Their gizzard is full of sunlight, warm and pulsing. Their heart is full of stories. They know somehow that this time their wings will carry them for longer. This time they will truly leave their cave behind. They scamper to the cave mouth. They are still a small dragon, barely larger than a newborn lamb, but they know that they will be able to do it. They leap into the air, flapping their wings. A few loose feathers shake free as they climb once, then immediately drop to hit the ground with a thump. They jump again, springing up and batting the air with their wings. Then the AI adds, they try again, they get higher but then lose altitude, skidding down toward the grasses of the hill. Get good dragons is tricky. You can do it, Amu wins. It's like chimerical. I love it. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Let the AI go again. Amuin doesn't want to land there. They have already seen their father scolding one of his hatchlings who fell too close to the fire. The grasses of the hill? I don't really... I'm trying to make that make a little bit more sense. So we've changed it to down the grasses of the hill. Amuin doesn't want to fall down the hill. They've already seen their father scolding one of his hatchlings who fell too close to the lake below. Amuin is determined to make this fight different. Okay, sure. Maliki says AI has learned that Amuin is they now? At least temporarily. Yeah, I'm pleased. It's good. I think AIs in general struggle to hold on to that kind of information. AI Dungeon really did struggle. Okay, so they huddle down, muscles bunching, tail wiggling in anticipation. They try to put all their strength into it as they jump. Their wings snap out and stroke the air once, twice, and 3 times. They are flying properly now, and they trumpet their triumph to the skies. They can feel the effort of it and sense the sunlight in their gizzard burning away. But now is the real challenge. Will they be able to fly beyond the grassy hills and out into the wider world? And it's the last prompt from the AI now, and then we'll call it quits. Tricky says so much big words my monkey brain won't understand. I'm sure you're keeping up. The AI says they begin their descent, stretching their wings wide and bending at the knees. They push hard with their legs. The tip of their tail furrows the earth. I don't think that really works. Try again. It's harder than before when they could just use their wings to propel them higher. That also doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna keep hitting retry. What's this number? If they are not careful, they could end up crashing right back down onto the hill. But if they keep going, maybe... ... Okay, we'll call that the end. Oh, Maliki, no! I'm sorry! Oh... I think I went 13 minutes. This is my fault. I'm sorry. Thank you for being here, though. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Even the people who have been harassing me about Sans, you've really made me laugh. So this is NovelAI, and we'll be trying this for the rest of the month. Well, for a month, I guess, is more accurate. And thanks again to Encaliad for gifting me this. I think this is interesting. There's a lot I like. There's also stuff I don't like as much as AI Dungeon. But it's fun to be trying a new AI, and it's fun to be away from AI Dungeon after my many trials in the latest story. Goodbye, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of the day.